What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You ready to learn how to make a tincture? Hopefully this music isn't too loud. I'm jamming out here. Alrighty. I'm spilling all over myself. Horsetail and alfalfa. These are two extremely important herbs for the mineral content. Horsetail has silica, which is needed for aluminum detox, aluminum binding, the bones, hair, teeth. Silica is crucial. And basically what I did is I purchased herbs from Mountain Rose Herbs. I used organic rum from the Amazon jungle. You can find organic rum at a lot of different liquor stores will have it if you live in a health conscious area. You know, or ideally you would use like organic cane alcohol, or which is a little bit different than rum. And then there's also you can use organic vodka, organic brandy. You just want to use any sort of organic, consciously made alcohol. And you take the herbs and you fill up mason jars about halfway with the herbs, anywhere as max 2/3 of the jar with herbs. And you basically pour the alcohol in, shake it up, and every day you shake this bad boy up for about a week, and then after the week you let it sit for another 6 weeks or so. So I use Mountain Rose Herbs, and I made 2 different concoctions recently. I'm no expert in tincture making by any means, but I used horsetail. I made one with horsetail alfalfa. I made another liver tonic with yellow dock, milk thistle, dandelion. What else did I put? I put a lot of stuff in here. Chanca piedra, which is the Amazonian stone breaker. Peppermint, schizandra, bupleurum. So yeah, they've been sitting for about 7 weeks, and the return on these companies like Herb Farm, I love Herb Farm, but the return is insane. I mean, it probably only costs them like $1 to make a tincture like this. And this is a 2-ounce tincture. It's stevia, but or let's say a 4-ounce tincture sells for $40. Honestly, I can't see it costing them more than $5 to $6 now that I've made them myself. So yeah, to save money on the detox journey, make your own tinctures. There's a lot of learning involved. You need to figure out the percentage alcohol you want to use based on the herbs. You want to figure out how long you let them sit for based on if they're a root or if they're a leaf or a stem. And then you want to figure out ratios of alcohol to distilled water to glycerin. So yeah, it's a little bit of a learning process, but no matter what, you're going to come up with a better tincture than simply a tea, right? So water is never going to extract all the constituents and all the nutrients the same way that the alcohol would, even if you use incorrect ratios of alcohol to glycerin, or even if you use too low of a percentage alcohol, or low proof of alcohol. So no matter what, you're still going to come up with something better than a tea. Taking things to the next level, you can make like a spagyric tincture, where you basically burn all of the substance that you're left over with, and after you burn it, you're left with like this ashy mineral. It's basically mineral dense ash, and then you put the ash back into the tincture and it's fully soluble, and that's what a spagyric tincture is. If you've ever seen the word spagyric on any of your tinctures, that's what it is. And it's really amazing, badass stuff. So spagyric is a whole world in and of itself. I'm not even going to begin to pretend that I'm an expert on it. I'm no expert on any herbal stuff or any tincture making. I will have an expert coming on soon to talk to everybody. Jeff Johnson. He's really amazing. Anyway, so this has been sitting for about 7 weeks. 4/18 is when I started it. So yeah, about 7 weeks. And I shook it every day for a week, and then I just let it sit. Horsetail and alfalfa. And now we'll strain it with a nut milk bag. There you have it. 2 ounces of highly concentrated horsetail and nettle. Probably made it for $5, less? I don't really know. Oh wow, that's great. Anyway, I have another one here, but I won't bore you with it. I'll make it after. So simple enough, right? Take the herbs, fill up about 2/3 of the mason jar, fill the rest up with organic rum, cane alcohol, organic vodka, brandy. Yeah, you can put some glycerin, vegetable glycerin, a little bit of distilled water, shake it up, and shake it every day for 7 days, and then let it sit for about 6 weeks. Roots you want to let sit for a little longer, and you want to use higher proof alcohol with the roots. And drain it with a nut milk bag, buy some tincture bottles or use old tincture bottles, label them, and you got yourself some homemade tinctures. This one is so badass. The herbs I put in this, you can't find anywhere on the internet. It's a combination of herbs. There's probably over 10 liver herbs in here, so I'm gonna do some liver cleansing with this tincture here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Peace.